the original purpose of our cargo trailer was so we could haul our ATV and camp at the same time. In fact, when we bought the trailer, it was just for hauling the ATV. But everything that we've done inside here, we've made it so it can fold up out of the way or pack up and get out of the way from our bunks to our tables. And today's video, I want to show you two different fold-up tables that you can do in your RV. Well, it's warmed up to a balmy 25 degrees here in Montana, and believe it or not, if I took you downtown, you'd see people in t-shirts. I kid you not. But when you've been below zero for so long, this actually feels pretty warm to some folks. I'm still a little chilly, but the weather's got me thinking about getting my trailer out this spring, and that's going to happen pretty fast. But let me start by showing you those tables here. When I built my tables, I wasn't doing a video channel, otherwise I'd have brought you along on the build. But I just want to show you some details on how they're made to give you some ideas for building your own. Of course, when you build a table or anything in your outfit, you're going to have to think about the space you have, where the windows are. In this case, I had to build a fold-up table because I have a bunk that fits right down below it, and I didn't want the bunk to block the operation of the table. A simple turn lock is what holds the table up against the wall. If it wasn't for this molding behind it, you'd have to put a piece behind the turn lock to get the proper spacing. The leg is hinged at the top, and the reason for this piece that the leg is attached to, see, it's just a short piece, is so that the leg can come all the way up and come up against the table. So the weight of the table is not resting on the hinge. The weight of the table is on the top of the leg. Now down on the bottom, there's a spacer, same width as the piece on top, and that gave me a place to put those the two black things are just made out of plywood. Those are ears, and when the leg is fit into them, it makes it so that when I've got the ATV in here and I'm brushing side to side on this thing, it doesn't wiggle the leg back and forth so that it can break it. It just makes it secure. And then on the very bottom of that is a bungee that helps keep that in place when the trailer is bouncing around. When the table folds down, the leg is free to fold out and come on down to the floor. Makes it really easy to put the table away and put the table down for cooking. The bottom piece is hinged with a piano hinge. I had to pinch the ends shut with a pair of pliers to keep this rod from sliding out as the trailer vibrates. I just had to pinch them a little bit. Anytime you're working with plywood, always make sure that the screws go into the plywood sideways like this, never ever into the end grain of the plywood. They just won't hold if you do that. And determine how high you want your table to be up off the floor. And the height of this piece here, this height to here, is the same exact length as your table leg over here, down to the floor. Well, normally we do our cooking outside, but on those days when it's raining, it's nice to be able to come in here and cook a meal. This little table is 20 inches wide by 36 inches long, and it folds up and down really easy. That's it. Works really well. Well, this is my daughter's 7x14 Stealth brand trailer made in Missoula, Montana. Fully insulated. It's got the electrical system, 12-volt solar panel. Got the same propane heater, New Way heater that I have in mine, except hers is a larger model, a Model 3000. And you can see it's got the tandem wheels on it. brakes. Mine doesn't have that. I'm just a single axle, no brakes, because I'm lighter. But I wanted to show you the trailer, or the table inside. This is standing in the middle of the trailer looking towards the front. Just so everybody's going to want to know what it looks like in here. So there's the stove set up there. We got an electric heater going now. We don't do builds inside our trailers because we haul four-wheelers in them. So everything needs to fold up out of the way. This is a one of those disco bunks. You can just see the top of it, but there's another one that goes on top, so it's like bunk beds for the children. And then in the back, is a king-size bed, but it actually folds up to one side to the other. It splits in the middle and folds up against the walls. Then there's the window there, and coming across here you can see I'm going to dip down to the table here in a minute, but just the shoe rack for essential things you got to have. And then down here is a table I wanted to show you. Now this is a fold down table. Of course, the operation of a fold up, this is a fold up or fold down table, and of course the operation is simple, just to fold the leg out underneath here. But there's some geometry that makes that work, and I wanted to show you quickly what that is. And this isn't to teach you how to build the table. I just want to give you the ideas that you need to build your own table. Okay, the operation is very simple. It's just a matter of raising the table up, reaching underneath and pulling the wing out like that. So the thing to remember on a table like this is the top of the spacers that the hinges are attached to are the same height as the top of the wing that folds out. And of course this is attached like this so that the wing has something to attach into the framework of the trailer with, or the plywood side paneling. And on this trailer the plywood is pretty thick on the walls, so it just attaches right directly into the plywood. And it's just hinged like that. Once again, never go into the end grain of the plywood. Always make sure you go into the surface of the plywood like that. And that's it. Okay, I'm laying on my back underneath the table. And that looked like a 1-inch thick piece of plywood up here. But it's actually 1/2-inch plywood, and then it's got a 1/2-inch plywood frame around the inside, just to make it stiffer, so the plywood isn't floppy when you put weight on it. And you can see that the wing rests on a piece that goes across the middle. Well, there's probably a couple dozen other ways to do this, but that's just the way that we did ours. I hope I gave you something that you can use. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe. That always helps my channel. And if you click that little notification bell down in the lower right-hand corner, you'll get notified when I come out with another video. See you around.